What's up, guys? Jordan here from Show Me Vegas. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Las Vegas. Hey, I just wrapped up a stay here at Fontainebleau, the newest and possibly the most polarizing hotel on the Strip. So how was it? That's what I'm going to show you in this video, and I'm also going to show you why I think this might be the most attainable luxury hotel in all of Las Vegas. Stay tuned. Good morning from Fontainebleau. I say good morning and not all checked in because actually I checked in last night. This is a rare but welcome two-night stay for me, which is great because I love this hotel. It has a lot to offer. I finally get to stay in a hotel room for more than one night, and for a couple of reasons. Last night I got in kind of late, and number two, this room's absolutely free. And no, that's not because I make YouTube videos. If you've watched this channel very long, you know that I don't take handouts to make YouTube videos. I pay my own way the same way you would, and this time that came in the form of a gambling comp. I mentioned in the intro that this is probably the most attainable luxury hotel in Las Vegas, and that's because it wasn't very hard to earn this gambling comp. We stayed here just a few weeks ago and gambled a little bit. I'll talk about that later on. Next thing you know, I got an offer through Fontainebleau Rewards that I couldn't refuse. This room is totally free, and when I say totally free, I mean it. No resort fee, no room rate, nothing. I love these rooms. They're spacious, they're stylish, they're comfortable. I will of course give you a room tour later on in this video, but for now, it's morning, I'm ready for some breakfast. Let's go downstairs and take a look around, or as I like to say, let's go see what there is to eat, see, and do here at Fontainebleau Las Vegas in 2025. All right, you knew I was gonna do it, right? The hotel hallway check, because at this point I've got to just embrace it. I'm the hotel hallway guy. Hey, impressions are important. So how are the hallways here at Fontainebleau? She'll do just fine. Another thing about me is I'm the hotel and casino carpet guy, and this carpet is awesome. The Fontainebleau bow ties are such a cool touch. Also, can we talk about the fact that you could practically drive a Mack truck down this hallway? It's huge. I just had to restrain myself in the elevator. You know those commercials that say you're turning into your parents? The older I get, the more I become that guy who talks to strangers in the elevator. I really got to stop it. Today, I did stop myself, so that's good. That's a win. We'll start this look around Fontainebleau like we always do in the main lobby, and this lobby is awesome. Soaring ceilings, gold and blue, and let's not forget those flowers in the middle. I literally just heard somebody over there as I was walking by say, "This is perfect." I tend to agree. Before we head into the casino, a quick look at the porte cochere here. This is awesome. And as Walk With Me Tim would say, the branding is on point here. Probably more than any hotel I've ever seen. This place is an absolute YouTuber's dream when it comes to B-roll because the fit and finish of this hotel is pretty much as nice as any you're gonna find in Las Vegas. Funny story, we were here last December with our then 13-year-old son. We came through the main lobby, we headed to the casino, and he said, and I quote, "This is a really nice hotel." There you have it, folks. Kids can't lie. We stayed here on grand opening weekend back in 2023, and most of the shops on the casino level weren't finished yet, and this was just kind of a construction wall or a temporary wall. This is really nice. I don't know how many people are actually buying anything from these Gucci stores and these other high-end retailers, but they add a nice atmosphere on the casino floor at the least.
I mentioned in the intro that Fontainebleau is polarizing. A lot has gone wrong starting even before the hotel opened, from the weird history of the hotel's construction to several high-profile management changes to a Players Club overhaul after just 1 year of operation, all the way down to the fairly common but misguided belief that they mispronounced their own name. A lot of the perception of Fontainebleau has been negative. In just less than 2 years of operation, the hotel has seemingly developed a love it or hate it reputation with the general public.
Onto the casino floor here now, which is massive, 173,000 square feet of gaming, which is big even by Vegas standards. And believe it or not, there are people who say that this place has no character. I don't know what they're looking at, but the character here, the theme, is luxury. And I don't know that it gets a whole lot better than this. For my money, the prettiest casino in Las Vegas, hands down. Let's talk particulars. This hotel finally opened on December 13, 2023 after a bit of a checkered history. You probably know something about that, but we'll talk about that more later on. It has 3,644 rooms. It was built as a sister property to the Fontainebleau Miami Beach, which if you haven't heard of that, that is a world-renowned hotel in Miami. Right here in the center of the casino floor is Blue Bar, and the prettiest casino in Las Vegas needs the prettiest center bar. I think they succeeded. I hope I have the opportunity, well, I will have the opportunity. I hope I have the energy to have a nightcap here tonight. Speaking of energy, before I go any further, I need some breakfast. So let's go up to level 2. There's something up there I want to show you, and that's where I'm going to grab a bite to eat.
Unfortunately, my stay didn't coincide with pool season, and they were transitioning the pool area over to the ice rink. But know that Fontainebleau is an excellent choice for a Las Vegas pool vacation because it has a 6-acre pool deck with 7 pools, 4 bars, 2 lounges, outdoor gaming, and one of the better day clubs on the Strip in Live Beach Club. The entrance can be found up the escalators from the promenade level. Also on the promenade level is Blue Live Theater, which seats 3,800 guests and has an excellent rotating lineup of entertainment.
The second floor is the promenade level, and that makes this the promenade food hall. This is a great food hall. Let's go have a look around. I'll show you what it has to offer. We'll start right down here on the end. El Bagel. This is a breakfast joint. This is about the only place open right now at 10 a.m. on a Friday. I've got a little time because I just ordered a bagel sandwich, so let's go check out the other spots. Right next to El Bagel is Capon's Burgers. It is pronounced Capon because it's by Chef Josh Capon. Right next to Capon's Burgers is Roadside Taco. And then right down here on the end, Miami Slice. Again, 10 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, nothing is really open. I did feature Miami Slice in my last Pizza Quest video. Check out that video to find out what I thought of it. Right outside of Miami Slice is known as Lobster Shack. Lobster rolls and a few other things. I had a lobster roll in there about a month ago. It was good. It was $40, but it was good. Hey, lobster is pretty expensive no matter where you are, especially in a landlocked Las Vegas. Also up here is Symbotica Wellness Bar. You can get juices, smoothies, salads, and wraps here. And right in the middle, Bar Ito. This is your food hall sushi. I've never had anything from here, although I do love sushi. Let's see what they've got. Yeah, pretty expensive, as you would expect. They have a beautiful bar up here at the food hall. I don't know what the name of it is. I'll try to find that, but it's a shame because it's never busy. One of my favorite things about the food hall here is this. You can grab a table right here and get this. I mean, come on. Who else in Vegas is doing this? An aerial view of the casino. It's pretty awesome. Sandwich acquired. That was quick at El Bagel. I'm going to take this back up to the room because, well, 2 things. I'm really hot and I have bottled water up there. A soda back there at El Bagel was $7. Yeah, I think I'll go back up to the room and have a 99-cent bottle of water that I already paid for. Along the way, I may as well show you the shops, and also this. This is the Hall of Excellence. This is kind of a sports Hall of Fame type thing. I think Tom Brady's Super Bowl rings are on display in there, and a lot of cool stuff. As a sports fan, I'd like to see it, but I think there's a pretty heavy admission charge. And then, of course, you've got all of your expensive, high-end retailers. I don't think I'm in the market for any of this stuff, but you can have a look as I walk through. All right, back in the room. Hey, come to Vegas in the winter, they say. It'll be cool, they say. You know, anybody who ever said that it's always cold in casinos is a liar. That or they've never been to Vegas in the winter. They crank the heat down there. Probably doesn't help that I'm always wearing a hat, holding the heat in, but It's whatever. I am always hot. I got the BEC, the bacon, egg, and cheese, and this is on an everything bagel, toasted everything bagel, bacon, 2 eggs, American cheese. How can you go wrong? It was $14, and I'm not gonna say that's a good value, but it's pretty much run of the mill for Vegas these days. I guess a sit-down restaurant would have cost me a lot more. This is good at least, and it'll fill me up. After this, I've got some other filming to do. I'm working on that North Strip guide. You guys want the North Strip tour? I'm filming that here in a little bit. I'll check back in on this vlog in a little bit. Like I always say, for me, it's going to be a few hours, but for you, it'll just be seconds. Stay tuned. Actually, real quick before I head out, I like to know when I spend hours on the Strip that my stuff is secure in my hotel room. And that's where the sponsor of today's video comes into play. That's Noble Travel. This is my new Noble Travel suitcase, and this thing is awesome because Noble has eliminated what is traditionally the weakest part of a suitcase. That's the zipper. You may not have known it, but traditional zippered suitcases can be popped open with a pin and then re-zipped like nothing happened, even if you have a standard zipper lock. And security's not just a concern in the hotel room either. They can be tampered with in airport lines, after you've checked your bag at the airport, even bell desks, really anywhere. My Noble suitcase here, on the other hand, is hard-shelled and latches closed like a safe with these TSA-approved locks, so I know it's secure. And not only is this suitcase secure, but it's stylish. It comes in a wide array of colors and has tons of cool features. Features like a cup holder, a charging port, a phone holder, an easy access laptop sleeve, not to mention the best wheels I've ever had on a suitcase. One of these would make a great gift for the holidays, and luckily they have their biggest sale of the year going on right now. It's the Black Friday sale. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or use the link in my description box down below. And remember, zippered suitcases can be popped open with a pin, but Noble removes the zipper entirely. Travel smarter, travel safer, travel Noble.
8 hours later.
Well, as they say, that escalated quickly. It is now 7:14 in the evening, and I was out today filming my North Strip tour, which a few of you in the comments have been asking about. It's part of that series where I show you the different parts of Las Vegas, and I logged more than 22,000 steps. I was out there for like 7 hours, which included a couple recharging breaks for my camera and my microphone, and myself, quite frankly. So I was pounding the pavement. Now I am starving to death, and I got to get some dinner before I finish that room tour here at Fontainebleau. Let's go downstairs, find something to eat, and then I will show you the rest of this place. All right, my choice for dinner tonight is the Tavern here at Fontainebleau. This is the sports book, sports bar, sports grill, if you will. I've been in here a couple of times, watched a little bit of sports, had a drink, but never eaten here. If you're not familiar with this place, this is the infamous site of Nacho Gate from a couple of years ago. I'll put a picture up on the screen, but they served somebody some nachos that went viral not long after this place opened, and they got a lot of bad publicity out of it. It is a really cool place. I'll show you around, and I'll also give you a look at the menu. All right, let's have a look at the menu. I would describe it as elevated pub fare, but here it is. Cocktails about what you would expect on the Strip, 21 bucks. Your wines by the glass are about $17 to $25. Your bottled beers are 10 to 12 bucks. Draft beers are 10 to 12 bucks. Like I said, what you would expect to see at a Strip casino. Over here on the food side, you've got a lot of starters. Typical pub fare, you've got nachos, spinach artichoke dip, potato skins, chicken wings, pigs in a blanket, that sort of stuff. Soups and salads, a couple of handhelds, including a French dip and a chicken cordon bleu wrap. I thought about a burger, I thought about chicken tenders, but something about these Maryland-style crab cakes just called to me, so that's what I got. They come with the fries. I know that's a little bit strange, but hey, it's just what sounded good. They also do serve a steak. There's a filet here at 65 bucks. Seems a little bit much for a sports pub. I'll of course show you the food when it comes out. And in the meantime, let's have a look around. All right, I was trying not to use my tripod at this table, but they forced my hand with this ridiculously tall cup of fries, if you will. The crab cakes are out. These are the Maryland-style crab cakes. They were $34, which is a little pricey, but they do look like great crab cakes. Here they are, and I can see a lot of crab meat in that, so I've got high hopes for these. The fries are fair. Okay, they're pretty good. They're very salty. Good French fries. I'm starving though. I might like to eat anything at this moment. Let's try the crab cake. There is a lot of crab meat in there. I'm not getting gypped on the crab. That is terrific, fresh crab meat. Not disappointed with this at all. I also got some coleslaw and it looks really good. I have burned a lot of calories walking the strip today, so I'm gonna turn off the camera and devour this food, and then we'll get back into the casino and see what else there is to eat, see, and do here at Fontainebleau. Stay tuned. All right, dinner was good. A little bit pricey, but that's a high-end hotel here in Vegas. $34 for the crab cakes, $12 for the beer. Yeah, a little bit pricey. I will say high-quality food for a sports bar. All right, let's get back into this resort tour, and let's start with a little bit of history. Bear with me, I'm gonna nerd out for a minute because I love this stuff. All right, I think everybody knows there was at least a bit of drama getting this place open, but I'm not sure everybody understands the full story. Let me try to give you the Cliff's Notes. Ground was broken on this hotel in 2007. It was originally gonna be part hotel, part condo. It was being developed by a man named Jeffrey Soffer, and it was gonna be a sister hotel to his Fontainebleau Miami Beach. Everything was going along just fine until 2009, when the Great Recession torpedoed everything. During the initial construction, Fontainebleau had secured more than $3 billion worth of funding. But the thing about recessions is the banks get spooked, and they pulled the funding. Fontainebleau went into bankruptcy and was foreclosed. Over the course of more than a decade, this place then changed hands numerous times. By the way, I'm going to continue the tour while I give the history lesson. This is the South Lobby, and I don't even know what this thing is called, but this is super cool. Down here, you're going to find access to the self-parking garage, and right down these escalators right over there in the corner, you're going to find the rideshare pickup area. Yeah, rideshare is not at main valet like a lot of Las Vegas properties. Back to the history. While this place sat for more than a decade unfinished, it started to fall into disrepair. Luckily, here in the desert, humidity is low and rust wasn't as big an issue as it would be elsewhere in the country, but it started looking pretty bad, to the point where some of the Clark County commissioners wanted it torn down. They saw it as a symbol of the Great Recession, and they didn't want this eyesore on the Las Vegas Strip any longer. This south lobby is super impressive. The height of the ceiling in the casino is more than 40 feet, which means down here, this has got to be 50 or 60 feet. And that mural right there, that's art or something like that. It is kind of cool though. Right out these doors is the Las Vegas Convention Center, and that's one way this hotel hopes to remain relevant while it gains a foothold in the luxury casino market. The Las Vegas Convention Center being so close, and the fact that this hotel has more than 500,000 square feet of convention space is definitely a plus and helps them fill some of these rooms. Flash forward to 2017, and this project has been stalled for 8 years. In comes Steve Witkoff and his Witkoff Group. They buy this place for $600 million unfinished and announce plans to finish it and open it as a hotel. They changed the proposed name to the Drew in honor of Steve Witkoff's late son, but once again it seems like the place is cursed as they run into financial difficulties and can't get it finished. Right over here by the South Lobby is Chez Bon Bon. This is a patisserie, great place for coffee and pastries in the morning, and if you're silver or above in Fontainebleau Rewards, you get free coffee in here daily. Right down here on the south end of the property is Vita. This is a great place to grab breakfast. Well, as a matter of fact, it's only open for breakfast and lunch. One thing that has always impressed me here is the dining lineup. They have a great selection of restaurants. I showed you the food hall earlier this morning. Let me take you around now and show you the highlights on the sit-down restaurants.
The restaurant lineup at Fontainebleau is outstanding, but it is, aside from the food hall, pretty much exclusively high-end. The most notable dining at the property includes Don's Prime, which is a classic steakhouse and might just be our favorite in town, and Komodo, which is a swanky Miami transplant and sits next to the food hall offering the flavors of Southeast Asia. We ate at both Don's Prime and Komodo on grand opening weekend, and we made a video about it here. Back on the casino floor, Mother Wolf is Italian dining and a bit of a pop culture sensation. Washing Potato is a popular dim sum restaurant. China Club serves an award-winning Peking duck, and Kyu is wood-fired and Asian-inspired and sitting right on the casino floor. And who can forget Poppy Steak, the glitzy, high-energy steakhouse where you can get a $1,000 steak delivered in a briefcase. If you're looking for brunch, you can go casual at Vita or more upscale at La Fontaine, or pick up a quick bite at Chez Bon Bon or Cafe Cudo. In all, you have tons of dining options at Fontainebleau.
Back to the history lesson. Now, if you've been paying attention, and I would absolutely forgive you if you haven't been, but the name Jeffrey Soffer should ring a bell. In 2021, he shows back up on the scene with a new investor group, and they buy this place back. He changes the name back to Fontainebleau Las Vegas, resumes construction, and lo and behold, in 2023, they successfully open this place just in time for his birthday. Now, I give you that long-winded history lesson for a reason, and that's because I have a soft spot for this hotel. It might seem sappy, but let me explain. The first time I ever came to Las Vegas was in 2009, right after this place went into bankruptcy. For more than a decade, I came to Las Vegas more and more frequently, and I always saw it through the airplane windows, abandoned, everybody rooting against it, wanting it torn down. I began to root for it, and that's because I see this hotel as a symbol of the resilience of Las Vegas. No matter what has been thrown at this city, it's always survived. And that includes Fontainebleau. All right, let's talk slots. With 173,000 square feet of gaming, you know there's a lot of them, more than 1,300 slot machines. It's your brand new assortment. I don't think I've seen a single old school slot machine on this casino floor. All the new games are here though. I will say, we've never found them to be particularly loose. We stayed here about a month ago and we couldn't buy a bonus. That might be though why I'm here on a comp this time around. So let's talk about that comp for just a second. About a month ago, Ashton and I stayed here 2 nights together, and we probably spent about a total of 2 hours playing slots here. I said they weren't very loose. We lost maybe $300. On the last night of the stay, I did play about 3 hours of blackjack at $25 a hand and broke even. When we got home about 2 weeks later, I logged into my Fontainebleau rewards account. Lo and behold, I found that I had 2-night comps, fully comped, weekends included. That tells me comps are not that hard to earn here at this casino. Let's talk table games. I mentioned I did play about 3 hours of blackjack here the last time I stayed. It's your usual assortment of table games and mostly $25 minimums on the evenings, definitely on the weekends. Tonight's Friday night, it's about $25 across the board. Blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, you name it. During the day, I noticed this morning there was craps for 15 bucks and there was blackjack for 15 bucks. Blackjack does pay 6 to 5, however. That's just kind of the way it is here in Vegas, although that might start to change soon. All right, even though vibes are high in this casino, I am running out of juice. I've logged more than 25,000 steps today, and this resort tour is going downhill fast. I'm gonna go upstairs, put the camera down, probably turn in early tonight, and I will check back in with you guys on this vlog tomorrow morning.
Good morning from Fontainebleau, and before you even ask, yes, I did sleep in the hat. I'm a hat guy. I think we all know this by now. I'm enjoying this Fontainebleau robe at the moment, which has on-point branding once again, and my sphere view, which reminds me, I didn't even show you my view yesterday. This is on the 68th floor here, and while it's not a strip view, I can see the sphere, and this is pretty sweet. I guess I'll show you now. There you have it. From left to right, you've got the West Gate. By the way, the West Gate looks tiny from up here on floor 68. The Las Vegas Convention Center is down below, and the Sphere is right over there. And if you lean around the corner, you get a partial strip view, even though it's not considered a strip view. Anyway, the other important thing I haven't done yet on this video is show you guys this room. So I'm gonna run downstairs real quick, get my free coffee. I think I told you about that last night. Then I'll come back up here and hit you guys with the room tour. All right, shower taken, coffee obtained, feeling pretty good despite the absurd number of steps I took out there on the strip yesterday. Let's take a look around this Blue King room. This is room 6869 here at Fontainebleau. All right, let's start right here in the center of the room with this king-size bed. I love the upholstered headboard. I love the way it extends beyond both nightstands. I like the mirrored artwork above it, and let's talk about comfort.
this bed was supremely comfortable. Caesar's Palace retains the top spot for most comfortable bed on my list, but if Caesar's Palace is a 10, this is at least a 9.5. The bed is plush, the sheets are great, the pillows are even better, and the room, plenty cold, very quiet, a very comfortable stay these last 2 nights. The decor is pretty chic. I like the blue and gray. I find them to be calming. I also like the pops of gold throughout the room. It does have that Miami Beach vibe while having its own character. Over here by your floor-to-ceiling window, you do have a 2-person dining table. This has a marble top. It's really nice. I like the chairs. There is no desk in this room, but this could serve as your workspace because that lamp right over there does have power outlets and USBs. This is a great place to sit, enjoy that sphere view, have your morning coffee, enjoy some room service, or get some work done, your choice. On either side of the bed, you have a nice sized nightstand with a big drawer and a stylish lamp. You also have touch controls for everything you're gonna need in the room. Your lights, your drapes, your shears can be controlled right here or on the other side of the bed. You also have 2 power outlets, 2 USBs and 2 USB-C ports, so you can leave your charger box in your bag. At the end of the bed, your entertainment wall, there's a nice sized TV with a good channel interface and a nice channel selection. You can also connect your phone up to that via Bluetooth and listen to your music. Underneath the TV is a nice marble top dresser with 2 big dresser drawers, and right here, this is a feature you're not gonna find in a whole lot of hotel rooms, especially in the luxury market. Check this out. It's not a mini fridge, but there is a cooling drawer. This will hold your drinks and keep them cold. It's not a lot of space in there, but you might be able to fit some leftovers in there too. Above that, you've got this drawer that has a couple of rocks glasses, a couple of plastic stir sticks, a corkscrew, and some napkins. This is really nice. Here on the countertop, again with the branding, you have this bow tie shaped tray that's got a nice leather wrapped ice bucket. The tongs even have a bow tie in them, 2 stemless wine glasses, and this little thing right here, it's got a bunch of QR codes on it. I think they just take you to the website, but it'll give you information on dining, shopping, spa and fitness center, that sort of thing. That's kind of cool. And then, of course, you have your overpriced snacks. You don't want to touch those, but just in case you do, we will go over the minibar prices here at the end of the room tour, so stay tuned for that. Over here by the bed, you do have this little sofa. Normally, I would call this a couch, but I think sofa fits this one better. This will seat 2 or 3 people comfortably, and when you add it to the chairs over by the window, there are plenty of places to sit in this room. One thing I don't like about the decor in this room is this picture right here. It looks a little bit cheap, if I'm being honest. I know they wanted to bring a pop of color in here, but I don't think that's it. Finally, here in the bedroom is your closet. This is a nice sized closet. It has motion activated lights that come on automatically whenever you open the doors. This is nice. There's a robe in there. There's also another robe in the bathroom. No iron and ironing board, they have a steamer instead. You also have slippers in here, your safe and your luggage rack are in there. Nice wooden hangers, and I will say, I'm pretty certain they're scenting the closet. It smells great in there, and when I took my clothes out, my clothes smelled like that. That's a nice touch. On the side of the hallway, on your way to the bathroom, there is a huge mirror. Check this out. Forget full length, this thing is massive. It's probably 4 feet wide, 7 feet tall, and it has a couple of hooks on it so you can hang your towels, your robe, your jacket maybe. This is also a really nice feature. The bathroom is one of my favorite parts of this room, and I think it sets the blue room apart from the gold room in a good way. The gold room is actually more expensive, but the blue room to me has a better bathroom. And this is one big reason why. There's a huge soaking tub in here, and when I say huge, 2 or 3 of me could fit in there, and I'm a pretty big guy. Right over here you have this cool trough-style sink with 2 faucets, a beautiful marble top, and all your amenities. You've got your tissue box, you've got your makeup cloth. Over on the other side you've got body lotion, a shower cap, and a little amenities kit that I presume has some Q-tips, maybe some cotton balls in it. The branding in the room extends all the way into the bathroom. This rug has the bow tie in it, another nice touch. Over here you've got a walk-in shower. It's not huge, but yeah, 2 people could take a shower in there at the same time comfortably. And the bath amenities are single use and they're phenomenal. Right over here you do have a separate toilet room with a floor-to-ceiling heavy-duty glass door. Very nice if you like your privacy, and I think we all do. And now the moment I think we've all been waiting for, the minibar prices. I've got them pulled up on my phone, and yeah, they're pretty much what you would expect. Let's talk about the snacks. The potato chips are 12 bucks. I almost opened those last night, despite the fact that they were 12 bucks. Caramel popcorn, 14 bucks. Signature cashews, $17. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. The Reese's Pieces, the gummy bears, the peanut M&Ms, all $16. Whew! Beverages. Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, Sprite, 12 bucks. Yeah, 12 bucks for a soda. Bottled water is $9, or the large Fiji on the top is $16. That's not as bad as, say, some of the MGM resorts have gotten in the news for. Red Bull, 12 bucks. So let's see, over 21. Miniature servings, Grey Goose, 20 bucks. Maker's Mark, 19 bucks. Hennessy, 22. Wines and bubbly, that champagne, it's a mini bottle, is $75. The Brut Rosé is $95. Goodness, the Chardonnay is 40 bucks. A Corona is $12. A Modelo is $12. There's an Espresso Martini for 20 in there. Whew! The charger kit, which includes a magnetic power bank with built-in charging cables for all mobile devices, is $85. The Intimacy kit, 55 bucks. And you know what? For the first time, it actually says what's in there, and I'm gonna put that on the screen right now. I feel a little bit weird reading it for some reason. I don't know. Here's what I don't understand about hotel mini bars, so help me out. Why charge prices that are so exorbitant that nobody's gonna buy the stuff? How do you make any money if nobody wants to buy it? If they cut those prices in half, I guarantee you people would be buying stuff left and right and they would make money on it. That $12 beer, I'm not gonna touch. That beer cost them 50 cents. If they charged $6 for that, or even $8, I probably would buy it from time to time, and then they'd be making some money. But hey, I'm not in hotel management, so maybe I just don't understand. Okay, rant over. That's your look around the room. I love the blue room here. Like I said, I think it's better than the gold room. Hey, I've got just a little bit over an hour before I've got to check out now. They did grant me a complimentary 1 p.m. checkout, which was fantastic. All I had to do was call down and ask. So now it's time to go over my overall thoughts and my pros and cons for staying here at Fontainebleau in 2025 or 2026, depending on when you watch this video. All right, time for my overall thoughts for staying at Fontainebleau. I very much enjoyed my stay and I would stay again. I mentioned that they wanted to compete with the Wynn in terms of luxury here at Fontainebleau, so did they achieve that? No. This is a nice hotel, but it's not Wynn nice. But hey, nobody is. Wynn is the gold standard for luxury in Las Vegas. I've said it a million times. It's the nicest hotel in Vegas. It is the gold standard, and this doesn't live up to that quite. The fit and finish of everything over at the Wynn is nicer than it is here, except for maybe the casino floor. This place has struggled to attract guests, and it comes down to location, which leads me to my pros and cons for staying here at Fontainebleau in 2025 or 2026. I'm gonna give you one pro and one con. The one pro is, this is attainable luxury. I mentioned that in my intro, and by that I don't mean that it's cheap. The rack rates can get pretty high here, but what I do mean is if you come down here and gamble at this property, you are going to receive comp offers. It was suspiciously easy to earn this 2-night comp. I mentioned last night, the last time we stayed here, I played slots for maybe 2 hours in the 2 days that we spent here, and I played about 3 hours of blackjack. Next thing you know, I had a comp offer for 2 nights, a full comp, no resort fee, nothing. That's hard to get even at MGM resorts, and that's because they're having trouble attracting people down here. That's my one con. The location here is, quite frankly, terrible. And I know I've said that about a lot of places. I use location as a pro or a con pretty frequently. That's not a crutch. Here, the location is bad. The most easily walkable casino from here is Circus Circus, and that place is an absolute dive. If you're staying here at Fontainebleau, you probably don't want to hang out over there. You can walk to Sahara, you can walk on down to Resorts World pretty easily, or you can walk all the way down to the Wynn. If you go any past Resorts World, it becomes a real hike. It's great if you're here for a convention at the convention center, but otherwise, this location is terrible. All that said, would I stay here again? I absolutely would, but I don't think I'll make it a regular thing by any means because I want to be closer to the heart of the action. Hey, that's it for this one, guys. I've got to move on to the next hotel, which is, drumroll please, I'm looking at it right now, the Westgate. A lot of you guys have asked for a Westgate review, so it is coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you get notified anytime we release new content here on Show Me Vegas. I'm on to the next. I will see you in that next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas.